Now I'm doing this as a separate video because I'll just show you some of the confusion we get with transfer boxes, because I took him 2 transfer boxes down to get bushings in, and he just finished them this morning, Saturday morning. We've got this one here, which is the 300 TDI Wolf one, and this one was the Germans' TD5 one. So far so good, eh? Now what JP does is he makes a little bush, and it's a custom bush to go into here, same, and usually he grinds down the pin if it's been chattering a bit, so it's perfectly round, 1/2, 3/4 of a thousandth of an inch or something like that. Not much at all, but it's enough for the O-ring to seat and be nice. So he makes that a nice custom fit. You with me so far? Now, the Germans told me that it was a 1.2 ratio and it was the original box. Remember, I don't know if you can remember that. But when I was looking at this 300 TDI one here, because I mark up on the pins and the casings which one's which, because otherwise I'll get mixed up. And I was looking at the tooth count, because I've just fitted new bearings to both of these intermediate gears, because I need to go down to JP's again today and measure up the pin sizes, you know, for the sleeve. Where's it gone? Brain fog, it was right in front of me. So we put a solid bush in between these bearings. Now these bearings are irrelevant now because we've got new bearings, but we want to make sure that this bush is okay. So he had the pin, you with me? So I didn't know which was which. But in the meantime, yesterday I mentioned that I'd cleaned up these gears in the wet bead blaster and they've come up very nice. But this is when I noticed something that was bizarre. He said, the German said, that that box was a 1.2. It was the original box. Who am I to argue? But when I started to look into this and do a tooth count, the TD5 on this gear, which is the high range gear, has a 38 tooth here, and on the transfer gear 41. That's the middle one that drives off your input shaft. This one here, 38, 41. I would call that the same. So it isn't a 1.2. Yeah, that does throw the cat amongst the pigeons a little bit, because I thought this was going to be a 1.2 transfer case for a TD5. I give that priority because a lot of people want them to have a higher gear ratio. So, just to make life a little bit interesting, Jeremy swapped a casing over this year, which was LT230Q, which was a 1.2 out of a disco, because again it was leaking. So it looks like now I'm going to have to take the gears out of that one and clean it up and put them into this casing here with and put this ratio into something else. God, it's what a complicated life, isn't it? So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get some boxes and start putting these away, but I'm going to concentrate today on putting this 300 TDI one in and trying to get a little bit ahead on this one. I know it's complicated. Imagine being in my shoes. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Yeah. So the casing on I haven't got much of a problem with it, because the casings on this Wolf one here, they've got these ribs on here, because so this is the late one, and so is the TD5, so it's not too bad. The difference with the TD5 ones is the front nose cone, which I haven't got here. I'll go and get one, I'll show you. So on the front nose cones of the TD5 and the later boxes, they moved things around a little bit and put the detent spring in here, goes under there. But also they've got a plug here where a switch goes in, a sensor switch, and also the what is it called, diff lock light is a different thread, it's a different switch. So these are kind of crucial if you're going to put a TD5 in. So we've got that. So what I can do is, with Jeremy's he didn't have that, so what we can do is put this cone on the front of Jeremy's box, which is this one. Alright, put that one with that one, and then see if we can do something and make a 1.4 standard box. Crying out loud, what a mess, isn't it? Right, let's get on with that today. I'll have to, like I say, I've got to get a bit of a wriggle on because JP's there just this morning and it's 11:30. Back soon. So after a bit of messing about, I got this gearbox out of the container. I'll just show you the differences between the Defender ones and the Disco one. This is a bit of a hybrid box. This is an old casing because you see it hasn't got the strengthening ribs on, so this is early, I don't know what year's on the date stamp, 97. It's a 1.211. That's good, that's the gears we want out of it. It's got the aluminium extension housing in there, so we know that the bearing, the shaft will be the good size. And when we take this crap out of there, yeah, the splines are lovely, so that's good, isn't it? Now the difference with this one is, you see it's got a boss on here. Well, that's where the plug will go, but it's got a regular diff lock switch in, so it's slightly different. So I don't really need this, but I'll get this drilled out just for the future and put a bung in it. That's going to be easy, isn't it? So I can just whip that all off there and do that later. Basic things is I want the gears out. Now Disco 2's doesn't have the speedo extension on here. It's blanked off simply because the Disco 2 takes its speed off the wheel sensors. So again, another useful part. But I've already got the casing in the shop there, already bushed out. So I think we can take this off. Now, we've already had this sump off because he had an extended sump on, you know, the coolie thing. But this is where it was leaking from, look. You can see it was almost running down here. They never leak out of here, really. I mean, a lot of people take all the box out, replace the seal, but it's this thing. You can see how wet it is. You can see somebody's been putting silicone over it. So, I'm going to pull that to bits very, very quickly and get the bits transferred. So there we are, we've got the gearbox stripped down and you can see how fine the teeth are on these 1.2s. This one. Yeah, because if you haven't got matching gears, you're kind of screwed. It looks in good condition. Even the bearings look good. No idea. Oh no, that one looks alright. I'll have to get some pictures of these on the microscope. Yeah. So what we can do now is clean up these bits and get them into that other casing. Didn't take long to get to bits, but like I say, all the gear teeth are good.